mornings at 7:30. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It's now the happy hour officially. Woohoo! Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez, Clary Kane hanging out with you guys. What's up, Rico?
Hello.
All right, so we're going to just continue off the last segment, kind of, somewhat.
Necessary.
Tip jar, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those open for you guys. Send us any random thoughts. We got a couple that we'll get to that we were sent last segment. Mm-hmm. It was funny. Anonymous Cubs fan. I've never heard of a segment that kept going this long after all involved agreed that the subject matter is terrible.
First
off,
I
was talking about the Hallmark movies.
First off, Hallmark movies are not terrible.
Rico, I think it's okay to admit that they're bad.
They're not bad.
No. It's okay to admit that they're bad and still watch them. I think that's okay.
But they're not bad. They're really good.
They are bad. You talked about how bad the acting was. You talked about how bad it is that there's the same plot every single movie. You've said this. It's okay, Rico.
But I like them.
Okay, and that's okay. They can be bad.
No, I don't like bad things.
You can like something bad.
I don't like bad things. The only bad thing I like in my life are Nebraska football and New York Knicks basketball.
Not bad anymore because Matt Rule's going places and tweeting things.
They are still bad until further notice.
I think it is interesting. I mean, Nebraska fans, we enjoy knowing what the head coach is doing.
To a fault.
And to a fault.
Yes.
And it's almost like where it's almost that idea of like leave the man alone, like let him do his job, but also
let me know what you're doing.
Like tell me what you're doing and tell me where you're at in the world.
I want you to just work, put your head down, nose to the grindstone and work, but also tell me your every move.
Yeah, exactly. And so with that, Matt Rule like tweeted out the thing yesterday of it was, I don't even know what food it was. Do you know what food it was?
Fufu.
That's
I don't know exactly what it is. I just know that I believe that it was. I'm not even going to pretend to know. I just know that you're supposed to eat it with your hands.
You're supposed to eat it with your hands.
You take what was on the right, which I don't know.
Yep.
I'm thinking it's some
sort of bread.
Yeah, and you rip it off, and then you dip it in whatever that was, and you get some of the sauce and some of whatever else is in there, and you eat it with your hands. I also know that it was the DN from Florida. His mom's restaurant in Texas is where he was, where that picture was taken. So that was a thing, and everybody loved. Recruits loved it. The Elijah dude from Texas A&M,
Judy,
loved it. He said, "Coach, I hope you ate it with your hands." Called him Coach, so maybe, possibly, there's something there. Former Husker players loved it. Some NFL players loved it. NFL Africa retweeted it. I just
saw that. Yep.
It's getting a lot of traction.
It's got a lot of traction.
Just tweeting pictures, no captions.
So what's interesting, here's what's crazy, is that restaurant, I think I read that it was in Texas. That restaurant was in Texas that he was at. Today, he posts a picture outside of Lincoln Financial Field, which, if you don't know, is the Philadelphia Eagles field.
Only one loss.
So
I know DP's happy about that.
Like we're all sitting here like this is awesome. We're getting to see where Matt Rule is every single day, and Husker fans are eating it up.
Honestly,
and
I'm a fan of him posting his food.
I am too. Like it's like just little stupid things like that where you're like, you know what? This is the complete opposite, it feels like, of what you had previously. Like it feels like this is a guy that wants his family involved in the community. He wants to be involved in the community. He wants to share what he is doing. He understands that Nebraska fans are so passionate about knowing every little thing that they can about the Nebraska football program. And that includes recruiting visits. That includes where the coach is at. And just posting a single picture of something that means zero, that means absolutely nothing, that has nothing to do with football, that just is food or that is a football field, right? In this case,
Mhm.
it creates a special kind of buzz around Husker football where it's like, Matt Rule's in here. These could be the recruits that he's talking to right now. This is where these guys are at.
They're in the East Coast hard.
Hard. Quentin Ives, the 6'3", 185-pound running back that they had committed, or that they got commitment from a couple like day and a half ago or so.
That's a tall running back.
Yeah, tall running back. But he's from New Jersey, so he's from the East Coast.
Did you see his stats?
Mm-mm.
It was somewhere along the lines of 2,000 plus yards and like 29 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Like, it was just ridiculous. I could be wrong on both of those numbers. I know that they were ridiculous numbers. I looked at it because it was, part of his highlight thing, and he like posted it up there, and I was like, why? What? How is this even possible?
Jeez. So like something as simple and, I mean, let's be honest, stupid or just like generic as posting a picture is already getting, I mean, they get tons of traction. You never know who's going to reply, retweet, who's going to talk about them. But it keeps Nebraska fans interested and intrigued, and I think a little bit optimistic about what next season could be like, right? Because this is the time where Matt Rule, he understands that you're coming off of a 4-8 season. You're coming off, and with his staff not publicly finalized too, you're coming off of a 4-8 season where Nebraska fans, they're paying you $9 million. They're expecting results relatively quickly, right? This place is not going to be in a good state of mind if Nebraska is 1-11 or 2-10 next year, like it has been in previous Matt Rule stops.
Yeah, not great. I just wanted to interrupt you really fast. I found the stats for Quentin Ives.
Okay,
9 games, 1,617 yards, 29 touchdowns. His senior season,
29 touchdowns
in 9 games.
All right, so I'm on board,
sir.
I'm on board. That's over 3 touchdowns a game if you're bad at math.
I am. Thank you.
You're welcome,
sir.
It's just crazy. Like Rubber Duck from LinkedIn, and I hate to compare it to the previous regime.
That's the only thing we can compare.
It is. But I also think that there were some good coaches and good people on last staff, on the previous staff, and I hate it that unfortunately they get grouped up and combined and just viewed as a poor staff because of a couple bad eggs. Like, if that makes sense. Rubber Duck from LinkedIn or whatever website you want, Rubber Duck, it's a complete 180 from the last staff, he says. And that's the thing, right? Is once again, Matt Rule wants and has publicly said how bad he wants to be a part of this community. One of the favorite quotes for Husker fans from his introductory press conference, and you guys already know what's coming, is that he's like, I want you guys to see us at the local diner on Sunday. And I'm sitting there with Jake going, man, I wonder what is the local diner in Lincoln, Nebraska? Is that Virginia's Cafe? Is it Engine House? Do we swap? Is it the same place every second Sunday of the month, or what? Like,
does he stick on one side of Lincoln, or does he go all over?
Do they sit in the same booth every single, like, it's like things like that.
Can you imagine being like the Sunday diner for the Rules?
For Matt Rule. But it's with Nebraska and how passionate they are with Husker football and how involved how much they want to feel involved with the program. And they want to feel like they know Matt Rule off the field, right? When he goes in and does something as simple as eat at the restaurant, or does something as simple as meeting people from Scotts Bluff, or meeting people from Norfolk, or going around talking to people and having adult, mature conversations, that stuff goes a far way in December. Those things go a far way in January, February, March, when you're not practicing necessarily, but you need to create some optimism and excitement for what's to come.
The people connections are different from the football connections.
Yeah,
getting
100%.
to know somebody on a personal level is different from knowing somebody on a football level. Knowing him as a head coach, I can go to Wikipedia and know him as a head coach. That's not that hard, but knowing him as a person, knowing, what he likes to talk about, and just, some of the things that if he comes up and starts talking to you, it feels as if you've been friends for quite some time. He seems like that kind of guy where he doesn't know a stranger. He's going to talk to just about everybody if he has time, if he can make enough time to sit at that restaurant and talk with people. And I'm sure that, although he's going to want to eat with his family, I don't think he'd be one of those guys to tell somebody off or shove them away if they're trying to maybe get a picture with him or something along those lines.
Which think once again about, as we compare and as we contrast of what the difference is and what's changed necessarily over the last couple months when we talk about these little characteristics, think about who the athletic director is in Trev Alberts. We've had multiple conversations on this show specifically and across the station about what kind of figure Trev Alberts is and how far out front Trev Alberts is in front of the fan base and in front and just how active and accessible Trev Alberts is. Husker, I mean, obviously he goes to the football games, he goes to the men's basketball games, he goes to those volleyball games, the big moneymaker sports. But if you go to a softball game on a Sunday or on a Saturday or whatever, on the weekend more specifically, Trev Alberts is going to be sitting right in the middle of the section, right in the middle of Husker fans.
You drove down a regional.
That's how it is. That is what he does. And same with baseball and same with women's basketball. They'll be playing. I remember last year they were playing like Indiana State at 11 a.m. or noon on Sunday. And there's Trev Alberts 20 minutes before tip-off, and he did not leave until after the final whistle. When Nebraska, after tip, when Nebraska boat raced Indiana State in women's basketball last year. Like, when we talk about being on the same page and being connected and having similar qualities, not only with the head coaches, but also with, athletic director and management, and leadership, it feels like you're kind of on the same page and approaching consistent kind of characteristic and qualities in the people that are in the space and in the room. So I think something as stupid and as simple as posting a picture of where Matt Rule is on Twitter, you might think it's dumb, and it may be, but
it just, the only thing that annoys me is there's no caption.
There's no caption.
And I want to know what it is.
I'm like, tell me what this is.
He just
What's
posts a
going
picture
on?
and I just go, like the fufu, he posted it and I go, I don't know what this is. It looks kind of good though. And I just had to wait a little bit for people to start responding with what it was and all this stuff. And, people were like, oh, it's a delicious delicacy and all this stuff. I had to look it up and I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good.
Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting to, as we go through this off season, that's going to have a lot of changes. It already does, right? A lot of new faces, which can be good for a program, and a lot of guys that maybe it's in their best interest to move on as well. There's going to be things that Nebraska fans are like, you know what? I can get behind this. And something as simple and as easy to do as post a picture of where you're at on Twitter, post a picture of where you're at in the world. Number one, it tells Husker fans that they're not just sitting here in Lincoln. If you go back and look at all of the posts, it is proof that they are out and about. They are in different areas of the country every single day. You have Terrence Knighton and Marcus Satterfield in one area, Matt Rule in another area. You have Omar Hales, I want to say is his name. I'm still getting used to all the names.
Yeah.
Omar Hales is handling all the visits here and getting commits with guys that visit Nebraska. You have Ed Foley tweeting out Runza. Then you have him tweeting out barbecue in Omaha. You have him tweet it's all, the staff is all on the same page. And I just have this fun, exciting thought in my head of I hope they all got together and said, you know what, guys, let's tweet out every meal we eat just to freak Husker Nation
every
out
time
a little
you
bit more.
Take a picture.
Just take a picture
Phone
and post
eats
it
first
with no caption.
Phone eats first.
Because that would be, but no, seriously, I just think when we talk about comparing and contrasting with the previous regime, full-time staff, I think it's understandable why there may be optimism. And here we are in December, middle of December on the 13th going, hey, listen, I know it's dumb that Matt Rule posted a picture, and I know it doesn't matter. Those things don't matter on Saturdays in the fall. And I'm not trying to say that they should replace, but I truly just believe that maybe
they're not trying to win the offseason.
They're just doing their job, and but while providing optimism, I suppose, for Husker fans. Dusty says this on the text line. I apologize for the ones we couldn't get to.
Yeah.
Rule and Trevor just genuine people. Things may not always go well, but you don't worry, they're not giving their all or trying their hardest. And I mean that's a fair shot. And fair point. All right, let's go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline before we get to break. Bob's on the line. Bob, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. We talked earlier when after Rule was first hired, and I was not – it's not that I wasn't optimistic, but I was very cautious.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting. But, the more I hear about this staff that he's putting together, the more I hear about him and that, the more it's like I can't wait for the season to get started. I know they're going to be hitting it hard in the weight room from what has been said and what they want. And, that spring game, I want to be there. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. It's going to depend on a lot of things, but because I'm moving to Indiana, so
that's right, Bob. I forgot.
But I want. But I'm going to try to be there. If not, hey, you know what? I got my Huskers.com. I got my Husker app, and I got your app.
I was going to say, there you go.
I can't. So I'm not going to be far away. I might be a few miles away, but I ain't going to. I'll still be here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So yeah. I'm ready for it. Let's get it started. Let's get the weights going in winter conditioning, and bring it on in. And I'm glad to see that he is doing some JUCO. He's trying to get some JUCO players, and he's out recruiting. And he's getting the players he wants. And that's what Tom did. He got the players that he wanted and that fit his system, and they thrived. Mm-hmm. I just hope that he don't forget the 8-man football, because there's some guys out there on an 8-man football that can play some ball. It might take them a couple years to develop, especially on that offensive line, but we've had some great in the 90s, in 94, 95. We've had some great 8-man football players that developed and became great linemen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
So, appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you down the road. There's Bob. Shout out to Bob.
Now, I will say,
go ahead.
I know he's optimistic and he's fully on board. Still pumping the brakes a little bit. Still, sit back, relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy the off season, but when it gets to the regular season, don't set your expectations too high, because again, this is a full-on changeover, a full, it seems as if it's a big tear down and build back up. So I'm not saying that nothing is possible, but I am saying, maybe tap the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how they operate once, preseason, and not preseason, but spring ball, fall camp all begin and wind down and end, and what happens August when they go on the road for their first 2 games against Minnesota and Colorado. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more Huskers when we return on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7.
Electric for you or when you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Vision and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
Nope, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery holiday wish Wishes 2x, 10x, or 20x scratch tickets for a chance to win $1. It's the Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
You know what's so great about Nebraska Lottery scratch games?
What?
They launch new games every month. Prices range from $1 to $20, with top prizes of up to $200,000. I mean, can you get that much variety and win that kind of money with, chess?
No.
Checkers?
No.
Solitaire?
No, but I once won a badminton tournament and got a $25 savings bond.
Well, I guess that's something.
Yeah, now it's worth $26.
Nebraska Lottery scratch games. Top prize odds vary by game.
Looking to purchase or sell gold and silver, Lincoln Coin and Bullion is here to help. We set aside a full hour for our first-time buyers. When you are ready to sell, we provide a line item quote and show you how the values are determined. Operating by appointment only ensures a discreet and confidential experience. Lincoln Coin and Bullion, an A+ rated.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch to
7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Showers and even a few rumbles of thunder will be possible for much of the day. We'll see an after high of 53, but temps could start to fall by late in the day. Southeast winds gusting over 30. Mainly cloudy, low down to 27. Only a high of 36 tomorrow for your Wednesday. A few snow showers possible by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here for Little Brooklyn Daycare. Look, I have 2 young kids, and my wife and I both have full-time jobs. So we need a place we can trust to take care. And now they're enrolling for kids from 2 years old to school age. And they're also hiring experienced teachers. Call them today at 402-742-0363 to schedule a tour to see if it's the right fit for you and your kids. Little Brooklyn Daycare, located in Fallbrook in Northwest Lincoln.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can, for American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior products on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to your benefits.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
With Tony White in his 3-2 Nebraska, do you think that's a fifth Big Ten?
It does seem like a type of defense that allows for a lot of different formations, point of attack. With their own alignment, except it allows for pressure to come from a lot of different spots. In terms of, rushing the passer, which is something that Nebraska has kind of been lacking in.
On 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket FM.
Members are terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. And if you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Plenty of stuff to get to. There was one tip jar question that we were talking about during the break a couple minutes ago, Rico, where it was the red light one. Okay, unnamed texter right here. How awful is it when people refuse to turn right on red when given the opportunity?
I want to rear end them.
It's okay. Well, that's aggressive.
No, I want to.
That's
I want to
that's
push
aggressive.
them. I want to push them slowly forward.
But here's what I say in response. I'm going to twist it around a little bit because I get quite a bit of anxiety when I'm like the first car and there's a red light. And let me know on the text line 402-464-5685. But there's a no turn on red sign. So I can't turn right on red.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place downtown by the stadium that I have to go through that intersection on, I want to say it's Rosa Parks. Maybe.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that one. It's
like
like
too far.
Bob Devaney. There's the dorms, a caddy corner.
That's not Rosa Parks.
Okay.
That's I know which one you're talking about. That's not Rosa Parks.
Okay, whatever intersection that is. There's a no turn right on red sign there.
Yep.
And I get anxiety every time if I'm the first car because I just hope Antelope Valley. Thank you. Rosa Parks is way near 77.
I was wondering why you were going.
They're by 77. That was bad. I apologize. So Antelope Valley. But I get so much anxiety because I'm just hoping and praying that the car behind me sees the sign that I can't turn right on red. Because I don't want them thinking I'm an idiot.
I've been honked at one of those. I was sitting there waiting because it was red, and somebody honked at me. I look in the mirror, and they throw their hands up, and I was just like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Yes,
so I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here because I have to.
I'm gonna sit here because my luck is there's gonna be a cop somewhere down the road.
And he's gonna
see that I turned right on red. But okay, so Byron says, Nick, I feel the same way, and thank you because once again, I get so much anxiety, and I'm not like an anxious person at all. I don't get anxious or nervous. But that is when I do, is because I'm like, man, I don't want that car thinking that I'm an idiot. And I hate confrontation. I hate it. And so, like, Brian says, I point at the sign if they honk. And I'm like, I have a fear of road rage, and I'm gonna get encountered by the wrong person on the road.
Wrong person, wrong day.
Wrong person, wrong day. They're gonna get out of their car, come up to me. And I'm just going to be like, chilling.
That's why we're doing ferals, man. You got that kickbox.
That's right. Of course. That's why we got to do ferals.
Exactly.
That's why not present tense. That's why we have to do ferals in future tense.
Yeah.
But no, so I just, that's the big anxious.
No, if I'm at a red light and the car in front of me, if it's not a, no right turn on red, and the car in front of me isn't turning, like I just want to inch closer and just like bump their bumper and just be like, please move, please go. Like, I'm not even in a rush, but I know that you can, and there's no car, like if there's no cars coming, or if it's very few, and I'm like, just go.
Here's what I hate,
just go.
When I'm driving or when I'm riding in somebody else's car and they're driving, and this is great because we're on the radio and there's people maybe doing this as we speak, and so I just want to draw attention to it because I have a feeling that this is a problem that a lot of people do without even thinking about it. And that is when it's a red light and like you initially stop, but you're not necessarily in a rush, but like you're ready, like you've been sitting there for a while, and they start moving towards the car, and the light is still red, and you have a car in front of you in your lane, and I just want to sit there and go, where do you think you're gonna go? What good does it do when you get 2 or 5 inches from the back of a car at a red light?
It
does not matter. Stop moving.
I've had somebody inch forward closer to me, like at a red light like that.
Yes.
The light turned green. I waited an extra 2 seconds.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, we're not doing this.
There's a part of me that wants to be petty.
I am extremely petty.
Exactly.
But I also hate when people do these things to me. And it's really a problem because I'm like something will happen to me and I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you do that? And then I do the same thing to somebody and I go, yeah, serves you right. And I'm like, why am I the way that I am?
That's what I'm saying is like, I sit there and I get so annoyed when people think that the person in front of them is just like looking to be like, oh yeah, that car behind me is getting closer to me. So I'm going to move up.
Obviously I should.
And I should move up and go into the intersection where there's a red light.
Obviously I should get hit by traffic.
Yeah.
That is the only logical
I volunteer.
Move. Yeah. This is my role.
This is my role as
time for me to stop traffic.
As the first car in the line. It's time for me to get hit.
Here we go.
What a world! But no, that's just once again, just wanted to draw attention to it, just in case you were at a stop sign or stoplight and just inching forward just a little bit, closer and closer to the car in front of you, and that light, did not turn green because you moved 4 or 5 inches closer. It doesn't do any good.
So what terrifies me is the yellow blinking lights, right?
Yeah.
So the arrows, right? The yellow blinking
I
arrows.
remembered when that was such a big deal when they changed it from just the normal green solid light to the yellow arrows.
So
everybody freaked out about
what
it.
terrifies me is the one up here on Vine, on 48th and Vine, because people always forget that just because the lights to go straight are turning red, that yellow arrow is still blinking.
Yes.
And they think, oh, these lights are turning red, which means the other lights are turning red, which
Bingo.
means I should go.
I need to go.
And I'm behind that person, and I'm like, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. I had some old lady, like, she, like, went to turn, and, like, all the cars, like, stopped and were, like, honking at her. And I was like, like, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, what is happening?
I'm not sure people understand the process of that the yellow flashing light when it's a green arrow, it goes green arrow, yellow arrow, red for
arrow,
a moment, then blinking yellow.
Yep.
They don't understand that process.
Nope.
They don't it's just I don't know why it's so difficult. Maybe it's because everybody's looking at their phones.
Because
Maybe that's
following
it,
directions is difficult for people.
But I just remember the big uproar when everybody was so annoyed that it was like the green solid circle or green solid light for just turning. And then it like made the transition to the yellow flashing arrow. And then everybody like freaked out because they didn't know how to. And then once the news made the announcement that every single stoplight in Lincoln had the yellow arrows now, they were like freaking out about
What's
it.
happening?
Yep. Those young kids make everything worse.
Roundabouts.
Hey, roundabouts are nice.
I used to not be a fan of roundabouts, but
roundabouts are great.
I'm okay with them now.
Unnamed texter says, since you're doing traffic PSAs, tell people not to stop on the tracks that cut through Highway 2.
Oh.
I've had people honk at me for stopping behind the tracks at a red light, whereas if I was right behind the car in front of me, I'd be on the tracks. Great point.
People stop on those, and I just sit there and I go, if there's a train coming, you're screwed.
So I
give them space if they want to back up. I'm a good person.
I have a confession to make.
Are you one of those people?
No, I'm not usually, because normally I stop behind that white solid line.
As you should.
And this text came in from Matt R. in Lincoln, so shout out to Matt R. in Lincoln. But one of the worst intersections in Lincoln, 56th and Highway 2.
That is true.
56th and Highway 2, one of the worst intersections in Lincoln. And unfortunately, it's one of the most intersections that one of the most frequent, the intersections that I frequent the most.
It's very dangerous.
But last night I was driving home from, or whatever, late at night. And like, normally I stop at the white line. Last night I stopped a little too close to the tracks, right underneath the arm. And I was like, man, I need this light to turn green real quick. Because if I was, because I couldn't see him because the lights are behind me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like looking at the one on the other side. I'm like, man, it's 11 p.m. Like, this would be the time that a train comes through the heart of Lincoln.
Night, Nick.
And I'm like, oh no, my car is just gonna go get smashed in half. Which I don't think like the arms would do that. I think it would probably just bounce off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, yikes, this is just not.
You have to figure out a way to get out of there.
Get
off the tracks.
I've always thought about that.
Would
to
you
where
leave
it's like,
your car?
I would 100% leave my car. I'd grab my backpack and take my car.
I think I'd be able to get my car off the tracks.
I wasn't. Now I want to make it clear. I wasn't like stopped on the tracks.
Yeah.
I was just past the white line that says stop here or whatever. So
I think you'd be able to get my car off the tracks. It's always that like fear.
Crap.
Like you see
56th and Old Cheney, not Highway 2.
I know which one you're talking about.
Everybody
knew.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knew.
Roundabouts are great though, as long as people understand roundabouts. And I think, I don't know if you've been over.
People don't understand roundabouts.
I don't know if you've been to Yankee Hill recently, like the whole Yankee Hill Road.
No, I have
just
not.
Loaded,
Are they done yet?
Loaded with roundabouts.
Yes.
Loaded. I bet there's probably 15 roundabouts from 40th and Yankee Hill to 84th where the Copple Y is.
Yeah.
There's probably 15 roundabouts.
It's very important.
But hey, it helps traffic flow, I guess.
Apparently.
So, oh well, it is what it is.
Stoplights? I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Rubber Duck from LinkedIn asks, you have to get rid of one for the rest of your life, wings or pizza? Pizza. In a heartbeat. Pizza.
I love pizza, but I love wings. This is hard. I guess I'd give up pizza. Well, no, I give up wings because then I can still have I still have chicken, and then I would just put like barbecue sauce on it.
I don't know. Ryan says 15 roundabouts, Nick. Come on, there's only like 4. False. There's 4 from like 56th to 84th. There might be 4 because there's one at 56, there's one at 70th, there's one in between 70th and 84th, and then there's one at 84th.
Boom.
And then there's another one past 84th if you want to go to where like Highway 2 connects and you can go out towards like Syracuse and Nebraska City.
Boom.
However, somebody says there's 7. But now, Ryan,
I'll go drive it right now.
He says they'll go drive it right now.
Count them for me.
Please count them and just take a video, just have a video going. But then they just added like 3 more when they did some work between 40th and 56th. So
Justin asked what should be worse, an underground roundabout or an elevated roundabout? Underground, because if the lights go out, you're screwed.
I was so pumped about that elevated roundabout that they proposed at 14th and Old Cheney a couple years ago.
They're
not doing it anymore. They're not doing it anymore.
An elevated roundabout could be bad because if you go off the side of it, you're falling down.
Yeah. No, like that's the thing.
But I'm just saying an underground roundabout, if there's an accident in there, nobody knows until you get in there.
And then you're just
boom, bam, boom.
Then you are part of the accident.
Then it's you.
Then you welcome to the show. I wanted that elevated roundabout. I wanted that elevated roundabout so bad on 14th and Old Cheney.
Can you imagine if it got slick?
I don't think it's happening. Yeah, that would be. I mean, it'd be bad.
Sliding off the side of the
roundabout. The minor details of it probably weren't good. Ben, I need to come at Ben a little bit here. He goes, "Have you tried not being a weenie and learning how to navigate a roundabout?" I love roundabouts. Number one, okay. I'm just saying, there's a lot of them in Lincoln. Lincoln is just a roundabouts nowadays.
Ben, how about you?
And then Ben also says, "Are you also confused by flashing yellow arrows?" We just had this conversation that it was, I have zero problem. People don't understand the process that it goes from green arrow to yellow arrow to red for a moment and then back to flashing yellow.
Somebody just tuned in.
Yeah. Come on. Why aren't we
Should
there?
have been listening to the whole show,
Yeah.
Ben.
Come on. Why aren't we there at 1 o'clock? We've had
the nerve on you. The nerva.
Yeah. So, okay. So Empty Dumpster said there were 7 roundabouts. So it is what it is. Joe, last one before we go to break. 7 duck-sized lions or 1 lion-sized duck?
7 duck-sized lions could do some damage. 1 lion-sized duck.
I don't think
if you could dodge the beak.
Yeah, you just got to dodge one beak rather than
get a hold
7.
of its neck. I think you could do some damage. I think you'd be able to take it down. I don't know what we're doing with these ducks and lions.
Just fighting.
But if we're fighting it,
just fighting.
I'm taking the 1 lion-sized duck. And I'm dropping it.
Yeah.
Quick move.
JR says, "I literally just went through 56th and Old Cheney. I stopped past the white line. First of all, how dare you?"
Wow.
JR, we just had this discussion. Got in the turning lane before I realized it was a yellow arrow and I had to stop on the railroad tracks. JR, come on, man.
Wow.
This is bad. All right, let's go to break. When we come back, we'll have the crossover. We'll bring in Nate to talk to him about whatever's on the 9 of the Virginia Tech grad. We'll do that next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
No, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes 2X, 10X, or 20X scratch tickets for a chance to win $1, $5, or $10,000. It's the Holiday Wishes second chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
You know what's so great about Nebraska Lottery scratch games?
What?
They launch new games every month. Prices range from $1 to $20, with top prizes of up to $200,000. I mean, can you get that much variety and win that kind of money with, chess?
No.
Checkers?
No.
Solitaire?
No, but I once won a badminton tournament and got a $25 savings bond.
Well, I guess that's something.
Yeah, Now it's worth $26.
Nebraska Lottery scratch games. Top prize odds vary by game.
2022 flew by fast. And while you celebrate the upcoming holidays, Mullen Motors is looking ahead to 2023 and trying to open up space on their lot. Stop by Mullen Motors for their year-end sale and select from some of the best options of used vehicles in Lincoln at the best prices of the year. Don't end the year in your aging vehicle. Search Mullen Motors lot today for their year-end sale, just north of 48th and Lake.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Life's special moments deserve to be celebrated. Since 1959, Riddle's Jewelry has been family-owned, and we're honored to be part of your family's most cherished moments. Riddle's will help you make this holiday special with savings of up to 50% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Shop our holiday sale to find the perfect gift to celebrate the amazing memories this year has made. Riddle's Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall.
Did you know that the U.S. has added over 1,100 new breweries in the last 18 months? Learn more by shopping at Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and by tuning into Thirsty Thursdays with Kevin Myers, because sports are better with a drink in your hand and a friend at your side.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch today.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. And if you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says let it snow because a white New Year's Eve could mean free jewelry. Shop from December 1st to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Shop from December 1st to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell gold and silver, Lincoln Coin and Bullion is here to help. We set aside a full hour for our first-time buyers. When you a line item quote and show you how the values are determined. Operating by appointment only ensures a discreet and confidential experience. Lincoln Coin and Bullion, an A+ rated business with the Better Business Bureau. Call to schedule your private appointment today. LincolnCoinandBullion.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
With Tony White and his 3-3-5 system that he's going to bring to Nebraska, do you think that's a fit in the Big Ten?
It does seem like a type of defense that allows for a lot of different formations at the point of attack. It's not that they're only going to have 3 down linemen. It's that it allows for pressure to come from a lot of different spots. In terms of, rushing the passer, which is something that Nebraska has kind of been lacking in.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Brian says this: you guys need to travel overseas. Many other countries use roundabouts instead of stoplights. Lincoln has very few comparatively. I actually have, when I went to Europe, I do remember that. So, I mean, yes, you're right, Brian.
Oh, Nick, you went to Europe? I forget.
Okay, Nate. See, why do we have to do this? Why do we
At
have to
the
do this?
Copacabana.
Nate, how would you rate?
Did you know that Nick went to Europe?
How would
know that,
how
yes.
would you rate Lincoln drivers? I don't talk about it. Anyway,
Do you want to truthfully know?
how would
This
you rate Lincoln drivers?
I've driven a lot of places in my life.
Yeah.
I've lived quite a few places, and these are probably the worst drivers I've ever encountered.
Dude, Lincoln drivers suck.
I'm being honest. In like
The roads are also terrible.
The roads there's construction everywhere.
The one thing that in a college town / capital, you're going to get that. That's inevitable. When it comes to roundabouts, I actually don't mind roundabouts if you know what you're doing.
Yes.
Most recently, the most recent crash I almost got into was someone who legitimately, in the middle, during the roundabout, there was another car like coming up that had a yield, and the car in the roundabout stopped.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm slamming on my brakes. I'm like just screaming, saying a lot of profanity that I probably shouldn't repeat on air, but I was not happy.
Yes.
And it just makes me think, do people in Lincoln just not learn how to drive in a roundabout? Because that was part of my driving test.
With
You had to.
with that also, in that specific situation, Nate, I'm like, if I find myself in that roundabout and like
Ryan says Lincoln drivers suck, says the guy who couldn't pass his Lincoln driver's test.
Hey,
no,
I passed the driving portion.
Here's the deal. With that situation specifically, I also sit there if I'm in the middle of a roundabout and I don't think that somebody's going to stop. I also am like, you know what? That's going to be their fault if they hit me. And if it's the time, like it's the time.
Oh,
like there's fate. There's fate there.
Have you ever been in a crash?
No.
It's terrifying.
I know it is.
I've never been in a crash.
I've been in a crash.
So we're asking the guy,
and
we're asking
knock
the
on
only guy
wood.
who's been in a crash who the worst
Yeah, who the worst drivers are.
Somebody on the text line says, I lived in Norfolk.
It's pronounced Norfolk.
Norfolk?
Norfolk.
I have to say, it's pronounced differently ever. Norfolk, Virginia. And those are by far the worst drivers, not only in the U.S., but the whole world.
Norfolk does have some really bad drivers. Really bad. I've never lived in Norfolk, though.
That is a dangerous word.
It's a dangerous
That
word.
is a dangerous.
That's how it's said in Virginia.
I
That's why
understand that.
I said that actually. I don't know if I've told you guys this story. The first time I ever anchored, it was talking about Norfolk, and I said it that way, but it's pronounced Norfolk.
Yeah.
I had multiple people email the station and say, "Who is this outsider?"
It's true. That's how they get you.
That's great.
Because it's
I love
supposedly
that.
Norfolk.
It is.
If it's Norfolk, then spell it that way.
Northern
No.
Fork.
Spell it that way.
The North Fork.
Is
garbage.
Somebody says, is this the new Lincoln traffic station or still the ticket? It is the Lincoln traffic station on the ticket.
It should be the traffic station because I actually have big news, guys. I don't know if you've seen yet. The South Beltway is open tomorrow.
That's right, December
Officially.
14th.
Yeah,
93.7 the
So
traffic.
shout out to hopefully T Farley says Subaru drivers.
T Farley has a beef with Subaru drivers.
Anyway,
anybody that
why
drives
is
a
that?
Subaru, he is not a fan of you.
What does T
those
Farley
are
drive?
the safe cars.
Not a Subaru.
He drives like a Buick thingy.
Are Subarus the ones that
said
go
a
quiet?
Subaru-
Or no, those
No.
are the Prius.
He said he almost
No,
got ran
Prius.
into by a Subaru, so he's done with
Subarus
all
are doesn't Bach drive a Subaru?
Exactly. He told Bach that day. He said, Bach, you got to get rid of your car. I don't like it.
That's funny. Anyway, no, the Beltway is going to be big because that's going to hopefully alleviate traffic on Highway 2.
It's going to, which it's not. It's not
Like
Highway 2 now.
semi-wise, I mean.
Okay.
It's now Nebraska Parkway.
That's not what it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's-
Through Lincoln, it's Nebraska Parkway.
Yeah, but
they
it's
renamed it.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's official.
Yeah, it's still Highway 2.
It's still Highway 2.
The
It
city
will
of Lincoln.
never.
I'm telling you.
Never be Nebraska Parkway.
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I'm
I just
sorry.
go by what the reality of the situation is. I go by the truth.
Ryan says, hey, Lincoln traffic station on the ticket. Can you please find out when Yankee Hill will open again from 40th to 56th? I need more roundabouts in my life.
Yeah, let me do some research.
Yeah, let me talk to my people.
What is up with people and hating roundabouts? They're actually
No, it's
incredibly
not,
efficient.
it's not that we hate roundabouts. It's that there's so many.
You know what? It could be worse though. In Richmond, they don't have flashing yellows, and there's nothing more frustrating than being stuck on a red.
Here's where
I hate it.
No,
I hate it so much.
With roundabouts, I don't understand this part. With like on Yankee Hill, for example, when it's not a major intersection, when it's not 40th, when it's not 56, when it's in the middle of those, I'm confused why there needs to be a roundabout, because you could just have a 2-lane road and it would work just fine
with a flash yellow.
No, because there's no intersection. It's just a roundabout. Like maybe it gives people an opportunity to U-turn 8 blocks in.
Don't even get me started about U-turns in this godforsaken city.
But here's the deal.
I swear I take a U-turn every day.
You do?
I take it
Why?
somehow. Because there's no way they make you take U-turns here in Lincoln. It drives me crazy.
Maybe find a different route.
Also, you guys probably aren't affected by it, but as those of us who drive at 3:00 in the morning, the lights aren't censored.
No, you have to time them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you
but
have to time
why
them.
is there no sensors on the ground?
Time them up.
Why is it on the ground?
Well, time them up,
Yeah.
and you got if you
Just
go.
time
Now
your
here's the
drive.
deal.
Be a sensor.
Now
Time your drive.
everybody can on the text line could agree with me or disagree. I mean, just normal.
The downtown lights.
The downtown lights. If you go the speed limit when there's no traffic, you hit them.
You can hit all green.
If you go the speed limit, but if you go 5 miles an
need a
hour
sensor.
over, if you go 5 miles an hour over, if you go under, you don't hit every single one.
See,
You can
and it's
you can
perfect
hit
because
it
the
perfect.
Sensors would throw that off because then you have
Yes.
red, green, red,
Yes.
red,
And
green.
then it's stop and go, and there's nothing that pisses me off or annoys me more than stop and go traffic.
It can't stop
I
in
agree.
the intersection, so you got to stay back. It's a
But
problem.
no, the sensors would then play off of each other.
They would not.
It's supposed to work.
They would not.
They would.
They have sensors
Here's
in
the deal.
Virginia.
Here's what I've
And
realized.
that's why people in Virginia are terrible drivers.
Here's what I've realized that
Norfolk does not represent the entire state of Virginia. Watch it.
I've just also made the realization that hey, there's always going to be construction on a road.
There's always going to be construction in
never
Nebraska.
yeah. There's never going to be a time when only like one major road is being worked on.
It's true.
There's always like 2 or 3, and it's so annoying because construction takes forever.
It's because you're in the capital city.
So
Holla.
all right, appreciate you guys tuning in and all the reaction on the roads.
Yeah, shout out to the 93.7
Drive
traffic.
Drive safe wherever you may be going.
Enjoy the Beltway.
Enjoy the Beltway. It opens up tomorrow. And Rico and I will be back 12 o'clock sharp. You know where to find us right here. 93.7 the station. The traffic station.
Wow, that was a
Also
weird
the
one.
ticket. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you.
Adios.
Life's special moments deserve to be celebrated. Since 1959,